Okay, just a few administrative notes about the final exam. First, let me check the calendar and I'll give you specific dates. Okay, so just kind of thinking out loud here for a second. The 10th, Monday the 10th is our last day of class. The 11th and 12th are reading days, so we don't have anything there. And then our exam is actually scheduled for Monday the 17th. And I don't want to get too far away from that or the registrar may get angry. So what I think I will do is I will open up the window on Saturday the 15th and just leave it open until Monday night at say Monday at 3 a.m. Actually, that's Tuesday at 3 a.m. Okay, so the window will open on Saturday midnight. Then you'd have all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, up until 3 a.m. or finish at 3 a.m. on Tuesday. Good. So I think those will be our dates. I'll be sure and write that in. Okay, so how big is the exam going to be? Well, typically I try to make the exam not worth 2. Let's see how big. But it's usually worth 1.5 exams. And that's because remember that if you do well on the final, I'll replace the lowest exam score by the average of it in the final. And so that's why it's worth an exam and a half. And so typically I would think an exam is about an hour. We've been going a lot longer than that, but it should really be an hour. It's going to be weird going back next semester when you only have an hour. Anyway, so that would be an hour and a half to... Okay, so I think we've been going about an hour and a half or more. So that's 90 minutes, so that would be 3 hours. So I'll make the exam 3 hours. Wow, 3 hours in length. I won't write it for 3 hours. I'll write it for an exam and a half, which hopefully, if you know your stuff really well and you can just write it down, hopefully that would take you no more than like an hour and a half. But I'll give you 3 hours for it because since it's open book and open notes, it takes you a little bit of time to run through things. So 3 hours and then 10 minutes for the upload. Now, I'm giving you the 10 minutes for the upload. Don't take 3 hours and 10 minutes writing and then say, oh no, I'm out of time and then I have to email it to you. Okay. So I'm giving you this 10 minutes so you have 10 minutes to upload and send it back to me. Okay. So the exam will be 3 hours long. Whew. So when you're setting yourself up for the exam, be sure you have some energy drink maybe and some chips and snacks. Okay. So that'll be what we do. And then Tuesday at 3 a.m. I'll make it 3:30 in case you want to start at midnight. Don't start at midnight though. I'm really stretching this time out, but be reasonable to yourself. Okay, so that's what we'll do. What else do we need? So it's going to be exactly like the other exams. So you will have your materials with you, but I want to really stress, you need to work on your own with these. No outside help. No computers or anything like that to help. I can tell when that's happening. So you are on the honor system. This is our last time through. So give it your best shot. I will post a summary of the material that'll be on the final. So materials will be posted. Good. I think that's it. Yeah, if you have questions about the exam, go ahead and feel free to set up an time for the office hours. Um, I think it'll be pretty straightforward. There should be no surprises on the exam. Um, so, uh, by the way, also I'll tell you, if your algebra is getting really bad and you're getting like page and page and pages of algebra, then something's probably wrong. It would be good to go back and make sure. With this system or with this exam, I'll tell you that be cautious with the quadratic formula. In fact, you probably should never even use the quadratic formula. You should always be factoring. Um, I'll tell you right now that all our problems will be factorable. There's not going to be any, um, well, I shouldn't say that. Because remember that we had things like s squared plus s plus 2 maybe in the Laplace transform in the denominator. And in that case, you couldn't factor that. And so I want to be careful about what I say here. But this is really for the linear systems. If you're finding, because we have to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. And if the eigenvalues are really bad algebraically, that means your eigenvectors are going to be even worse. And so it's going to be a big mess to try to find those. So your eigenvalues should be nice. That's what I'll say. Okay. I don't want to tie myself down when we get into the Laplace transform. Yeah, so look, and also be sure that you're reading the questions carefully. By that I mean, when I say use the derivative method, to solve the differential equation using a power series, that means I want to see the derivative method. I don't want to see you starting off by saying y equals the sum of a sub n times x minus x naught to the n, right? Also, what happens if you don't read the question carefully, I may say, give the final form of your guess for y sub p using method of undetermined coefficients. And then I'll say, do not solve for the coefficients. And sure enough, there's always somebody, at least one person, who tries to solve these systems. Yeah, and they end up wasting a lot of time on that. So be sure that you're paying attention to phrases like do not solve, okay, because that will save you a lot of time. I try to make the questions fairly straightforward and fairly short. So that, because you should not, like I say, I'm going back to that idea that you should not have pages and pages of algebra when you're solving these. Okay. Of course, I say that, I should say that cautiously myself, because if you do the technique that I'm thinking of, the computations will be short. But if you go off on a different tangent, you could go off and you could do some unknown thing and get yourself into some tangles, algebraically speaking. So, okay, I'll stop there. This is just going to be like a normal exam. Be careful, reading the questions. You should be doing that anyway. Be cautious of your computations. Again, you should be doing that anyway. Yeah, and relax. You're at home, you've got your snacks in front of you, and you've got your calculator there. But I will say, only use the materials that we've used for the previous exams. That means you can use a calculator, you can use your notes, you can use your book, you can use anything on the class website. But that's it. Do not use any other website. Do not use a computer algebra system. People ask me what that is. Computer algebra system is if you can compute an integral on your calculator exactly, then you have a computer algebra system, and don't use that for the exam. Okay, because of course the point is for differential equations that you can practice, or that you can't perform an integration or a differentiation, as the case may be. Okay, I think I've said enough. So again, I'll write this down in the final exam notes on the class website. But otherwise, that's it. We're done. Good luck. I'll talk to you later.